What's up, guys? My name is Mad Squash 924. Welcome back to another episode of Night's Call Part 20, where today I think is the day where we're going to end Night 6, and then I think we actually have to decide who the Angel of Death is going to be, our killer's name. So let's begin. Let's go pick up this guy as our first customer of the day, and see what he's all about. I don't think we met this one before. I don't recognize him. I know I've seen him in town here and there, but I don't think we've actually picked him up before. Veronique Pucha. Or Pucha? Puchat. Puchiat. I don't know. The passenger getting into the cab smells like alcohol. There is a feeling of sadness about her. Oh, I thought it was a dude. She gives you her address, and you start the car. They settle into an unsurprising standard conversation. Climate change, politics, the price of real estate in Paris. But then someone mentions the serial killer. You lean in to listen. A rumor. Could be of help. The passenger pulls out her phone, but the screen remains off. You glance back at her in the rearview mirror every now and then again. She's clearly upset, uneasy, sad. All of a sudden, she speaks to you. She has a deep, soft-spoken voice. Excuse me? Do you think texting to say you had a nice evening well, just 10 minutes after you saw someone, it might seem a bit desperate, no? You smile. Clearly you're not an expert on the subject. I have no idea. Her brown eyes sparkle with amusement. Sorry, I didn't want to. She turns her face away, apparently blushing. The thing is, I think I'd be able to do it anyway. It's so hard. I really like meeting that girl. Super nice. I've been in Paris for 8 years now. 8 years. And it's hard. Incredibly hard. Her voice falters. And there are so many people in Paris, too. You should see them. I do a lot of work in law firms. They're bursting with attractive women. But there's so much shame. And denial. Most are uncomfortable, lost. I get it when you're 20, but when you're 30? Her eyes widen in dismay. Anyhow, who am I to say? I wasn't any better when I was 20, right? I'm surprised, that's all, and, fed up. The passenger suddenly realizes she's oversharing. Sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you all this. Well, people tend to open up at night. Your remark gets a smile from her. In taxicabs, maybe. But on dates, it's just the opposite, isn't it? When I got to Paris, I thought I was going to meet a nice group of women at last to go out and have fun. And all I found was more of the same. Girls who are inhibited, hung up, afraid, who don't want to commit. That girl tonight, she just wanted to go out for a drink because she was bored. That's why we met up so late. Didn't have anything to do at home, so... She didn't put it that way, of course, but I knew. Dates today are so... My friends who are older talk about the bars they went to back in the day, the underground scene, glances exchanged in the metro. Me, I'm just happy getting an emoji. It's pretty pathetic. Luckily, there are the dating apps. We talk, trying to get to know each other. Sometimes we can't help it, and we sleep together out of sheer necessity. But our real needs are never actually fulfilled. She falters. An uncomfortable silence ensues. Mine aren't, anyhow. She smiles. You near the address your passenger had given you. Her face clouds over. She lets out a sigh. You park in front of her building. She pays the fare, thanks you warmly, but is unable to open the car door, as if her strength had deserted her. Sorry, I just need a second. Another second. Take your time. She nods, breathing out, straightening herself almost imperceptibly. Come on, you can do this. She climbs out of the cab. Your eyes follows her as she walks over to the building. A moment later, she's gone. Okay. Well, we got evidence from that too, apparently, which is good. I wonder what kind of evidence. Let's see here. Who can we talk to that we haven't met before? We've met you for sure. We know we've met you. We met you. I don't recognize you. Let's go pick you up. And see what they're all about. If I'm not mistaken though, I think this is the final night before we actually do have to make that decision about the Angel of Death. I think for the Sandman case, I think it was 6 nights, and then on the 7th we had to go get our suspect. If I remember correctly. I imagine it's much the same in this way as well. This one's name is Agnes Bertrand. It takes you a minute to realize the person who just got into your cab is a woman. You hate it when your brain skips a beat, when you misread a face or a scene, and yet she is in fact a woman. A woman with a beard and a small battered suitcase. Gee, not unhappy to be here. She lets out one of those distinctive sighs, the kind a traveler gives after a long plane ride, and gives you the address in the suburbs. You start the cab. The road is wide open, no traffic. You glance at your passenger. You got in late. Late for hours in New Delhi. I thought we never leave. I hope it wasn't too rough. She rolls her eyes. Well, you know, that's the way it goes. No lives lost. And to be perfectly honest, after my travels in India, I was ready for a 3-day flight. Have you ever been? You shake your head no. That's too bad. It was... She breaks off, searching for the right word. It was incredible. A real experience. She stops short. I'm sure you hear all that all the time from passengers back from there. You smile. No, actually, I don't. Really? Most of my passengers find it too dirty, too crowded. They complain about the spicy food, the noise, the smells. She gives a short laugh. True enough, but I don't get it. All those people who go to countries that are so completely different and who come back. In shock? Of course, a country like India is going to be different. It's an entirely different world, with its own communities, languages, and customs. No connection to ours whatsoever. You smile. but it was a chance for me to let my beard grow in. She runs a hand through her beard. The gesture is new to her, and clearly hard-won. What do you think? It takes you a minute to respond. Don't worry, tell me the truth. You're brave. Brave? I don't know about that. A little stupid, maybe. Perhaps a little. Irresponsible. Irresponsible? Well, yes. Even in France nowadays, it's going to be a shock for some people. It's going to be off-putting. She smiles. You can read the weariness in her eyes. At first, I was supposed to go to India with my ex-husband. We split up 2 years ago. But he was still living in my house, and I just couldn't let him go. She gives an almost imperceptible shrug, as if to emphasize the irony. We always wanted to see India, and we've never been able to go. We had the kids, and there was school, and then... Anyway. The day we were supposed to leave, he chickened out, and I got on the plane. She spreads her hands with a broad grin. She radiates warmth and good spirits. She'd be the perfect grandmother. Warm, slightly eccentric, ready for adventure. 4 weeks. Delhi, Jaipur, Bombay, Goa. Incredible. Lots of touristy spots, beaches packed with young people. You're always wondering to yourself, what are they doing here? Do the parents know about this? I left without my overnight kit. It was in my ex-husband's suitcase. It's been growing in for 20 years. For 20 years, I had to shave to wax and apply makeup. For 20 years, I've been avoiding long trip surprises and unforeseen events. Your passenger's voice is bursting with energy. You can't help but smile. And so here I am, growing this very full beard. Anyway, people, they don't give a shit about me except to make fun of me. So I stopped caring. You can't begin to imagine how it feels not having to shave and to put makeup on every day. You can see the fatigue in her eyes, the exhaustion. Every single day. My children don't know about my beard. They never have. Never saw it before, never realized. Are you worried? Am I afraid? I suppose I am a little. But I'm ready. Ready to take the world by storm, to embrace it and not let go. I used to be so... how can I put it? What's the opposite of selfish? You're at a total loss. Not selfless, not disinterested. I used to be so... out of touch with myself. Physically. Yeah, that's it. I was out of touch with my body, cut off from the real me. She flashes you a smile that instantly fades. Well, it's easy to say that right now, what with the fatigue of traveling and all. But maybe tomorrow when I see them again... She stops short, as if to compose herself. Anyway, tomorrow is another day. All in good time. You drive down her street. Your passenger glances out of the window anxiously. You pull up to her address, a small suburban house, like thousands of others, in need of a fresh coat of paint. Everything alright? There is just one more thing I have to do. I have to kick my husband out. Once and for all. She pauses. My ex-husband. She grins and hands you the fare. She lets out a long, happy sigh, then adds energetically, "Good luck to you, and remember to keep that smile on your face." She walks away from the taxi, her small suitcase in hand. You drive away, your spirits renewed. No tip! Alright, that's okay. We got some cash out of her. Looks like it's time to go to our house. Let's see if we actually made some cash this time, unlike last time. Last time I think we literally made nothing. Let's see. Oof. I hope this is our last day. We're out of money. You take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. Step in the hallway, they stop in front of your door, and then move away. You take off your shoes before getting to work. Okay, so we got something new, right? Is it down here? No. What did we get? Looks like it's this one, because it's just randomly posted. This one is also randomly posted. Let's see, victim 4 hosts refugees in her hotel. Moon flesh cult equals crazy. Yeah, no shit. She's a member of that, but it's irrelevant to the story. Okay, we really gotta look here. Actually, no we don't. We're gonna have to decide in a second, aren't we? Yup, I knew it. The phone rings. You impulsively take a step back. It's the moment of truth. Hello? Hi. Ice cold. So? She heaves a long sigh. There's no background noise. She must not be at the station. I've got a name for you. Perfect. I'm listening. You glance at the wall. The suspects are all lined up. All the evidence, a whole mess of your ideas. Your stomach is in a knot. I don't have to remind you, you cannot get this wrong. I have a meeting in 2 hours with the district attorney and the chief of police. Even the Minister of the Interior will be in the corner of the room somewhere. Obviously, I'm thrilled. But I certainly don't want to put too much pressure on you. You can almost hear the smirk she must be wearing. You lay the receiver down on the table. Now you have to decide. Alright guys, it's time we really have to put our thinking caps on here. Oh, hold up. This is also new. Didn't even realize that. Okay. What we actually know we have. So the killer's height, by description, is any one of these 3. Meaning, she's out of the picture. It's not Pierre. It's not you. From the killer's case of this height, it's either Jonas Pearson, Gilda Berger, or Hervé Grailleux. Hervé allegedly robbed a fishmonger. Okay. What we got for victims? We know that the Moonflesh cult is crazy, but that's irrelevant. Victim 1, strict religious family, which could be in line with her. Victim 1 couldn't save everyone in the albatrosses, felt guilt. Okay. Victim 2 is over here. MO, slit throat, words written in blood, and the blood was missing. Let's see, let's move victim 1's stuff over here. She's out of the picture, so we can start moving the stuff up here a little bit. Victim 1 was a client of Belvedere Cafe, which is from her place, correct? Chef and La Pierre restaurant in Paris. We know he's homeless. It's weird that we haven't heard anything from any one of these people except for literally one time. We met Hervé in the very beginning, and then we met the others very shortly after. Okay, let's see. Victim 1's here. hero loved by everyone. Victim 2 was a client of Belvedere Cafe. Actually, we don't know about this one. Let's move this upwards. Break-in for crime scene and 3. The killer is a manipulated kill. He's just okay. Victim 4. Host refugees in her hotel. Candles smell while talking to Ludwig. Why is that relevant? Let's see. Hervé allegedly robbed the fishmonger, suspected of many break-ins. Kitchen window was left open by the victim. Hervé allegedly robbed the fishmonger, left spare key under the door of the mat. Okay. Let's see. Gilda Berger, set designer for the opera, was hospitalized after her mother's death. Difficult relationship with her father, also working at the opera. Catholic and a member of the Korean community in Paris. Messages on the crime scene, only one God. Fish equals a symbol for Christianity. Fish was seen in Gilda's church. And same height. I don't know if that's enough to convict her. Jonas Pearson, alien programmer, wrote books about simulation we're all living in, destroyed evidence when the police started investigating. Jonas believes we're in a simulation. Crime scene 2, he watches you. That could also be in line with this, which is from Victim 2, right? Testing his theory. Leader of the dark web group. He's dangerous. But is he the killer? I don't know. I'm not sure. Victim 1 was all through a religious thing, which can lead you to believe it could be relative to her. She was hero loved by everyone. Client at Belvedere Cafe. Let's see here. The weapon was a fillet knife. Fish symbol was drawn on the wall with blood. Could be relative to this. Here he didn't say anything about your scar. Doesn't matter. Victim 3 was part of the Moon Flesh cult, which is part of this cult, which were a bunch of crazy cult members. So maybe what I'm thinking is it might be Gilda. And then the Moon Flesh cult planted flowers and trees illegally as well. I don't know if that's even relevant. What about Victim 3? Anything else? No. So cult. Religious. He watches you. It could be Jonas or it could be Gilda, I'm thinking. Client of Belvedere. Victim 2 opened doors to killer. If you open the doors to the killer, that means the killer is also very trustworthy, right? I think it is Gilda. Also, murder/rituals. It really could be Gilda. I initially thought it was going to be her because of the cult stuff, right? The Moon Flesh cult. But what if that means it's actually to her? We might be wrong. We might be right. I'm not sure. But I think I'm going to go with her. Yeah. Wish us luck. I don't know if this is correct. I think Jonas Pearson is a little bit too obvious, and Hervé Grailleux has not enough evidence to do anything against him. Like, he has things against him, like he's done break-ins. There's no correlation for anything else. Jonas Pearson, he believes the whole thing's a simulation, and you could believe he's a killer. But not under these circumstances, I don't think. Gilda Berger, I think, is the killer. And it's definitely not you, because you don't even fit the killer's height description. You pick the phone back up and explain your choice to Lieutenant Bussett. Why? How? The evidence, your sources. She listens without saying a word. You stop talking. You catch your breath. Okay. I'll buy it. Seems like a solid choice. I can fish around a bit to vet your information. She pauses. You can almost hear her nodding. I'll call you tonight. Try to get some sleep. She pauses. No way she's going to hang up on such a positive note. No, she's probably going to... It might be your last night of freedom. She snickers and hangs up. You put the phone down. You might as well be standing in the ice-cold emptiness of outer space. You decide to go to bed, to sleep. It's the best way to kill time. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You lie down on the sofa bed, its frame creaks. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Also, on the side note, another reason I don't think it's Jonas. I don't think Jonas would take the time to put in all these... I guess you could call them calling cards everywhere on these crime scenes. And I don't think Hervé is smart enough to. Which does leave Gilda. So. Your brain is running at full speed. Your body aches. You are in pain. You can tell you need to get more sleep. You glance at your investigation board. You sigh when you think that in just a few hours it'll all be over. You'll have answers. Busset will have her arrest. Paris will be peaceful again. But what about you? What will you do? You shake your head, and your mind wanders for a second. And suddenly, you're asleep. You open one eye. You had a hard night. Restless. You get the impression you've aged 5 years in a matter of hours. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. As night 7 begins, the final night. So I imagine Busset's gonna come in just like how she did before with the first case. You barely gotten downstairs when you catch the sight of Busset. She's leaning up against the door of your cab, eyes wide open, forehead creased. Get in. You obey. It's too early to react. She settles into the back seat, flashes a smile. Good news! You're right, or at least the DA thinks your evidence is sufficient. Yeah, me too. That took some hard thinking, but yeah. No emotion in her voice. She's giving you the facts. Nothing more. We're going to get that crazy lady tonight. She leans to one side, looks away for a minute. We're so busy looking for connections that we didn't understand that there weren't any. But tonight, it'll be all over. In about an hour or two, we're going to get her to leave her place. And you will pick her up. What? She pulls some kind of pen out of her pocket, and she puts in the little cubby just above the car stereo. This is a bug. You, need a confession? If you feel like it, if you can manage. I've seen you and heard you enough to know where you have a trick, a gift for getting people to talk. We think the suspect will try to escape when she realizes something is off. You've already talked to her. She knows you. Earn her trust. Don't try to be a hero, just bring her to the meeting point and hand her over. She sighs. Two teens walk by the cab, and the intense smell of weed fills the cab. Busset doesn't budge. I know you can do it. If you stick to the plan, nothing can go wrong. And if there is a problem, if you stick to the plan, there won't be any problems. She lays her hand on the door handle. You pick the suspect up, drive to the meeting point, and you're free. Easy as pie. She gets out of the cab, slams the door, and walks quickly away. Shit. 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 You hit the dashboard. Intense pain spreads through your hand. You grab the keys in the ignition and turn. The motor comes on. Your night is about to begin. Your last night. Our last night. And I think with that, this is going to be where we're going to end today's episode of Night's Call. Hope you guys all enjoyed. If you guys have, make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me what you think of today's episode, of course. And if you're new to my channel or have been watching me for a little while and you haven't done so, feel free to subscribe to me, MadSquash924, and don't forget to ring the bell to get notified of my latest videos. On the next episode, we are going to catch the Angel of Death, aka Gerda Berger. I believe her name was Gilda Berger. That's who our Angel of Death is. And we will go and catch her on the next episode. Hope I see you then. And then the episode after that, we will be beginning the third and final case of Night Call. And I hope that you will join me for that one as well. Bye-bye, everybody.